Hey there, fellow YouTubers. I've been sent this new RO water system from Waterdrop for the opportunity to provide an honest review for my viewers. I'm a huge fan of RO water systems and I have installed quite a few of them in the past. This system is tankless, which means it takes much less space under the sink. It has a nice beefy motor to pressurize the water and provide good flow. One thing I noticed right out of the box is that everything is labeled and marked to make installation as easy and foolproof as possible. I've learned from my experiences in the past that this isn't always the case. So, let's take a closer look at the included parts. Here is the pre-assembled inlet water line with the feed water valve. This valve works with both 3/8 and 1/2 inch sizes. They have also included some Teflon tape if needed. Here is the red drain line, and it's clearly labeled, along with the drain saddle that will later install onto the drain pipe. The included faucet is pretty much pre-assembled and ready to go. It has the included hardware to tighten it down onto the countertop. Now, there's one thing to note. This is a tankless system, and for it to provide good water flow, it needs a motor. So you need to have a power socket available under your sink. And last but not least, the included user manual. It's really well written in clean English, with a step-by-step guide that provides details and illustrations. You even get a quick use guide with a nice large illustration of how to install the system for those who may not need all the details in the regular user manual. Alright, here's what the bottom of my kitchen sink looks like. As you can see, I already have a power socket, since I need the power for the dishwasher and the food disposal. So there's no need for me to worry about how to power this RO system. I also have a dishwasher filter installed, which takes up some space on the right side of my cabinet. And so I'll be putting this RO water system here against the left side of the cabinet. I've already made sure I have enough space both for the height and depth of this new system. I've also got a cloth to soak up small amounts of water that will leak out during installation. It also helps that I have this protective rubber mat below. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure my cold water valve is turned off and remove the cold water line going to the faucet. We'll be installing our feed water valve between our main valve and the line going to our kitchen faucet. If your faucet line is the smaller 3/8 size like mine, there's no worries, we just need to remove this adapter. There's no need for Teflon tape here since we have a rubber O-ring in the kitchen faucet line. Also, we want to make sure the connection is tight, but not overly tight to damage the rubber O-ring inside. That adapter we just removed, we are actually going to use it to connect our main valve to this feed water valve. So first, I'm going to install the adapter to the main valve on the wall. Again, I don't need Teflon tape here, since the adapter has a rubber O-ring inside. And again, I'm going to only lightly tighten it, just enough so that there is no water leak. And now we can install the feed water valve onto the main valve. Once again, no Teflon tape needed here either. There is a rubber O-ring inside the feed water valve that will provide the watertight seal. Alright, next I'll turn my attention to the drain pipe. We will want to install the drain line above our P-trap. Here's the red drain line and the saddle that will hold it down onto the drain pipe. We also have this sticker foam pad that will prevent water from leaking out. Let's prepare the saddle for installation by unscrewing it and separating the two parts. And while we're at it, I'm going to remove the lock clip and insert the red drain line so that it sticks out about 1/2 inch from the inside. Since I'm replacing a previous RO water system, I already have a 1/4 inch hole drilled and the foam tape installed. It's right here on the elbow pipe that comes out of my food disposal. So all I gotta do now is insert the red line and tighten the saddle onto the pipe. So now we got our incoming water line installed, as well as our drain line and saddle installed. So I'm going to turn my attention to the faucet installation. Luckily for me, I have a pre-drilled hole in my countertop. But if you don't have a hole like this, Included in this kit is a template to help you drill a 1-inch hole. The faucet comes with the hardware that's needed to tighten it onto the countertop. I'll go ahead and show you how this works since there's no space down there for me to record the install. Basically, the faucet will sit like this on the countertop while the rubber ring and the nut will tighten it down from underneath. And once it's in place, you simply need to get the blue pure water line and push it in. Simple and straightforward. Okay, now let's take a look at the main unit itself. Here on the left side, there's a sticker that shows you what order to install the filter cartridges. Each cartridge is wrapped from the factory. I'll carefully remove the wrapping. And there's also a protective cap on top that we will need to remove as well. I really like the design of these cartridges. There are multiple layers of O-rings to ensure that they will not leak. Also, they are simple twist-on cartridges, making them very easy to install or remove with clearly labeled instructions. We simply push it in and give it a quick twist to the right, and we are done. Next up, we have the activated carbon filter, with clear instructions even telling us how long to flush new filters before using. And with a quick twist to the right, on it goes. And last but not least, we have the carbon block filter. Quick twist to the right, and we are done. Okay, we are ready to connect the main filter unit to the 3 installed lines. But before we can do that, we need to remove the protective rubber plugs that were pre-installed from the factory. With black lines clearly marked on the tubes, we need to make sure we push the line down until it reaches this mark. And we need to install the lock clip afterwards. Next up, I'll go ahead and remove the plugs from the pure water and drain water sockets. And of course, we will want to make sure we have a couple of included lock clips ready in hand. The blue pure water line is installed, and now the red drain water line. We're almost done. I'm going to lift the whole thing and place it against the left side of the cabinet. Okay, time to do a quick leak test. We will turn on the feed water valve and make sure there's no leaks anywhere. I don't feel any water leaking. We should be good. Now it's time to power it on, so let's plug it in. And then we need to open the faucet and let it flow. At first, some trapped air will escape, and then water will start trickling out. We need to give it time to clear all the air from the system. Also, since we are using new filter cartridges, we want to make sure we run it for 30 minutes to flush all the filters. These lights will stop blinking when the flushing is done. Alright, so I call this a successful install. But no install is complete without testing the water to make sure it's actually clean. With the system fully flushed, we will test this cup of water. This here is an accurate TDS water tester, and it also compensates for water temperature. So let's give it a try. I'm getting a very good reading of just 26 parts per million. That's what I want to see. In contrast, let's test the tap water coming from the regular kitchen faucet. And as we can see, we are getting a pretty bad reading of 344 parts per million. This simply means that there are a lot of particles in the water. It's just less pure. Let's also compare these readings with the purified bottled water from Kirkland. This bottled water is basically filtered the same way in a large factory before being bottled and sold. Looks like we're getting a reading of about 27 or 28. This is exactly what I'm expecting to see. RO water systems should filter water just as well as bottled water is filtered. Well, I got to say, I really like this RO system and I do recommend it. If you want this RO system as well, please help me out by clicking the link in the description of this video to make your purchase. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found my video informative.